Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, Hail Lift Rise. My name is Carla. Thank you all so very much for joining me here. I truly appreciate every single one of you, all of your love, support, and kindness to the channel. If you are new, welcome to the Hail Lift Rise community. I hope you'll become a part of this wonderful, amazing tribe we are co-creating here together. I am so honored and just very excited to be a part of your journey and you a part of mine. So thank you wherever you are in this world. And yeah, so we have been moving through big waves of energy. I am not sure what you're truly experiencing in your reality, but I can almost bet that if you're watching this video, you in some way have moved through, shifted through big waves of energy, or you currently are. That is exactly what I have been going through, and it has been, to say the least, very, very heavy emotions coming up. But I'm also grateful for it because there has been a lot that's come up that I had no idea I was actually like needing to release. And there were certain things that I didn't process. I thought I had processed. And you know, it's so wild to think that when you're on this journey and you're really committed to your healing and like doing the work, and you think you got something cleared, you think you got something really like, you know, like check the box, I did it, you know, whatever. Life can say otherwise, and the universe can kind of test you again, like kind of bring it back up and bring it, you know, around and really see if you've actually like cleared it and actually processed the emotions connected to what you are, you know, still grieving or having significant emotions around. And there's no judgment, and there's definitely no kind of like need to put ourselves down when we are going through and experiencing these heavily deep-seated emotions, because it's there to teach us something. It's there to help you process something big in your life. And I truly believe that every emotion is there to teach us something and help elevate us. And we kind of have to go through all of the emotions and sort of like make peace with it. And I say that in a way where essentially allow ourselves to be friends with these emotions, experience all of it, and understand that it's a part of our journey and part of where we're going. And you know, this is part of the human experience. We're going to feel all of the things. And you know, society's created a lot of, you know, kind of like negative connotations and labels on what you shouldn't feel. And they deem it as, you know, it's bad for you to feel sadness, it's bad for you to grieve, or bad for you to feel angry, bad for you to you know, feel depressed or whatever. And you know, they take it to such extreme because you know, you know, a lot of the times I feel like they see it as it's either one end of the spectrum or it's the other. It's either so far good or so far bad. And you know, of course, it does have to be taken into account that yes, there are people that really do get themselves in a really bad space that they don't know how to get out of, you know, mentally, and they, you know, end up, sometimes they take their lives. You know, and so yeah, it does have to be talked about, and yes, it does have to be taken, I guess, a bit seriously. But I feel like for many of us out there that experience these deep emotions or deep feelings, you know, it's sad to be put down or to be made to feel like you're just very negative, or you're just very, whatever, or low vibe, because you feel, all of the emotions and all of the feelings, even the ones that are not so high vibe. And I feel like when you allow yourself to experience it all and feel it all, and integrate it, allow it to teach you what it needs to teach you, to transform you, you naturally will elevate your vibration, and that emotion isn't going to be experienced in the same way if it, once it leaves, and if it enters your reality again. If you experience it again, it's not going to be in the same way, and you're definitely not going to hold on to it as long as maybe you would have in the past, because maybe you were resisting the feeling to begin with and not wanting to feel the heaviness of what was coming through. And I mean, to give you an example, anger is a really good example, because a lot of people put a lot of like negative connotations around anger, and that it's not good to be angry. But if you think back to our history and think back to even within the last, I would say, 50 years, 60 years, even like during the civil rights movement, we needed people that were angry in order to create change. Because you see, anger is the energy that can be used to create powerful, transformative, huge change in our planet and in our world and our society. We can use that energy to transform something that doesn't serve people in the highest regard, and we can use anger to get us motivated, to like light a spark, light our flame within, and to get us moving to go towards what we are wanting to change, to advocate for what is right and what is best. So don't underestimate the power of anger and what anger can do for you and what anger can teach you. There's obvious, and maybe it's not obvious, but there are obvious things that you should not engage in out of anger. And I definitely don't think that you should ever, hurt anybody out of anger, whether that be physically, verbally, and even emotionally, energetically. I just feel like using the anger that comes up when you are so mad about something, using the energy, harnessing that energy for something good. Like, another good example, when you're so angry about the way certain things are in your world or in your country, or maybe even in your school, I mean, I don't know, like whatever your reality is, you can turn that anger, that pain, into art, and you can create like some really amazing music and some really amazing paintings and some of the greatest songs that were ever written and ever recorded and made famous, that we are even aware of, have been created from deep anger, that energy of anger and deep-seated pain and emotion that was just building and wanting to be heard. And of course, I can think of so many different songs and bands and artists. Several of them come to mind. One of them is Nirvana, of course, and there's several songs. Smells Like Teen Spirit. Let me think. What else was coming to me? Michael Jackson, Scream, that song. I believe he wrote it or co-wrote it. Scream and Jam. There's several songs that, I mean, I can name so many different artists and different songs, but there's so many different artists and songs that have created something really amazing, really popular, really that hit to the soul of so many people, because that energy that they were transmuting into art, into something beautiful, that to be shared, was created from the energy of anger and of pain and of strong emotion. So anytime you find yourself really angry, first and foremost, it's good to really breathe into that and feel the energy of what you're experiencing, but don't allow yourself to react from anger, as in to react and whether you're yelling at somebody or if you start feeling like you want to hurt somebody, don't react from anger. Instead, tune into that energy and allow yourself to express yourself, with song, with music, with journaling, with art, whether that's painting or sculpting, sketching, playing music, dancing can be really good. There's so many ways you can express anger without it hurting somebody else, because the key here is that you don't want to hurt anybody else and that you don't hurt anybody else. You basically want to just turn that energy into something beautiful. You can use it to your advantage, and also tuning into it, breathing into it, letting yourself feel angry and meditate on it. What is it trying to teach you? What is it trying to get through to you? What is it that's coming up? Usually anger stems from something that is being suppressed. It's like whether you're not being heard, you feel like you're not heard, and it becomes like this, like I said, deep-seated, deep-rooted energy, because you feel like you're not heard, and it's just, it builds and it builds and it builds and it builds, So meditating on it, sitting with it, and allowing whatever to come through that comes through to kind of showcase to you why you're feeling that energy and what it's trying to teach you. Allow that to come through, and understand we can use our different emotions that we might deem so uncomfortable to our advantage to create something really beautiful and powerful. And of course, it's always good to just allow ourselves to feel what we're experiencing and truly just like let that energy move through us. But just from my own perspective and my own ways of harvesting the energy, working with the energy, is that you can really turn pain and turn heavy energy into something so beautiful and so powerful. And it's there for a reason, it's there for a purpose, and you it's better to transmute that energy than to allow it to just sit and fester within you. Like, do something with that energy, because you can use it to your advantage and even to help others. Because I believe that our art and the way we create does help the world when we share it with the world. And so I believe that can be so beneficial. I mean, think about it. Even Kurt Cobain is such a great example. And I know I go back to him. That's because I've worked with, his energy. But he transmuted a lot of deep-seated, rooted anger and pain and sadness. A lot of heavy emotion was transmuted within his music, and it was him channeling that energy into his music, into song, into what he felt internally needed to be expressed, even if it wasn't his own beliefs or things that he clung to. It was his expression of what he felt needed to come through, and things that he might have disagreed with in reality with certain things, and things that he might have truly felt was true. But it all came with this deep expression from a place within him of expressing and turning that pain and anger into something really beautiful and creative. And I think he was a really intelligent person, and with a really creative soul that really truly wanted to be heard, and of course was, in a magnificent way. He had no idea he was ever going to be that famous, just based on channeling when I asked questions. He had no idea it was going to ever be like that for him. But he wanted that connection. He wanted to be able to express and connect with others, and be able to share what he wanted to express, what he has, his deep feelings and things that he felt were injustice, a part of injustice. And he got that, and I think he really felt that connection with his fans, because he knew that they were receiving the messages and what he was expressing. A lot of artists do that. A lot of artists who do channel through music and stuff, they feel it more deeply, because the artist is tuned in and channeling in their music writing and whatever. But anyways, you might be experiencing the heaviness, and just be very gentle with yourself. Take the time to honor yourself in whatever way that you feel is right for you. If you're experiencing really heavy emotion of anger or whatever, you have the ability to turn that into something beautiful, and to channel it in a different way, where you're creating with it, and you're also integrating that energy, because it's there to teach you something. And maybe you've suppressed a lot of anger, and it's time to allow that energy to rise up, and to reclaim your power, reclaim your voice, reclaim your divinity, to stand within your sovereignty and go after what it is that you want in this life, and express your most truest self, your true, authentic self. So I wanted to share that with you guys. That's kind of what I've been navigating. A lot of sadness energy. I don't know if you can tell that I've cried quite a bit earlier today, but this has just been kind of coming up for me the last 2 days. And I thought it was my Moldavite necklace that I got in, but I truly believe this is just something collective that is just kind of ongoing, rolling through massive waves of heavy emotion that some of us are experiencing out there. So I just wanted to share that update with you guys. And one other thing before I get off here. Another thing I wanted to share was, you might be having more spiritual experiences. Spirit actually showing up, showcasing themselves in your reality. You might actually be seeing spirits and having a lot of that interaction with spirits at this time. And I've had that recently, and the craziest thing, it's not crazy, but okay, I just say that lingo. The craziest thing is that that's happened with me, but my husband and I have both experienced it a couple times on the same day at different times. It's so wild, so freaking wild to me. And if that's happening to you in your reality, where you're having that and experiencing that, maybe your partner is too, or somebody that lives with you in the house, just understand, like, this energy coming through, like the veil is becoming thin, and I believe it's like really also confirmation of your journey and where you are, how you're elevating yourself. Because when we do have those experiences, you know, more and more and more, it really has something to do with our frequency and the way our frequency is changing and elevating. So just kind of wanted to confirm that for somebody out there. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you take very good care of yourself as always. And until next time, I will chat with y'all later. I love you guys. Bye.